Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is video number 107 of 365. I'm Samantha. I'm a therapist, and I'm doing a video every day for a year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. Thank you for joining me tonight. This is my radio voice and my future podcast voice and my future creating a meditation voice. Just playing. How are you guys tonight? I hope you're doing well. It's been quite a day today, so it's a little bit later than usual for me to film a video, but that is A-okay. Had a beautiful day no matter what. So I hope you guys had a beautiful day too. And I thought we would talk about how to hack this matrix we're living in. How do we hack it? How do we do that? Well, are you still thinking those crappy thoughts? Because that's not going to hack the matrix. Are you still living in your old self? Because that's not going to do it either. So how do we do it? Are we touching the hot stove or sitting on the hot stove? Or are we choosing a different reality? Are we changing our personality to change our personal reality? Bringing some Joe Dispenza in again, because I just love him. I love all of his stuff. And if you're touching that hot stove, you can't possibly get the results that you're looking for. And so the first thing is to figure out, well, what results am I looking for? What is it that I want? What do I desire? And sometimes we don't know what that is. So it's more like going for a feeling. So what feeling do I want to feel? And what are you feeling now that you don't want to feel? Sometimes that's easier because when we know what we don't want, we know what we do want a lot of the time. Especially when it comes to a feeling. It's like, well, I feel bad. Well, I know I don't want to feel bad. So what is it that I do prefer to feel? Well, I want to feel good. Okay. Well, are we constantly looking at that hot stove and saying, ooh, I got to just touch it. I got to touch it. I got to touch it. I got to touch it. And then we touch it and then we scold ourselves because we know and knew that we shouldn't touch it, but we did it anyway. And then we just spiraled and we just went up there and hopped up there and sat on it. And now we're burned. And now we're just upset that we burned ourselves. And we knew we were going to burn ourselves. We did it anyway. So it's keeping very, very present in your now moment, knowing that there is the option of not touching the hot stove. And a lot of times we just automatically go there because we just forget. We're just addicted to the old self. We've conditioned our brain and body to believe that we have to continue down this road. And again, I've mentioned this before, but when I learned that we're just addicted to thinking the same way, and all we have to do is start gently guiding ourselves another way. That's really all we have to do. It just made me feel so much more in control of what I was doing because I really grew up thinking that life was happening to me and not through me. No one teaches us that it's happening, through us, and we have a lot more control than we know. And if we just allow things to come in instead of trying to control them, if we surrender to things to come in instead of trying to force them, that's when the magic happens and we don't have to do much work. The work is just kind of getting out of our own way, breaking the habit of being our old self. It's all that it is. There's the old self, the new self. And I really like to talk about what we need to stop doing, because a lot of times we're doing so much and then we pile other crap onto our pile and we get overwhelmed. And then it's almost like we spiral and we're like, I'm overwhelmed now. I don't want to manifest anything anymore. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm exhausted from this. I don't like this game anymore. So this really is a game. Reality is a game and we're playing it all the time. And, well, hi, baby. I don't know if you can see Macy, but she's right here playing with stuff. But it's a game we're playing, and we just have to know how to play it correctly. And it starts internally. And so when we are so addicted to how we felt yesterday, we're going to pretty much be thinking the same thoughts we thought yesterday. And it really does feel impossible sometimes. And I know what that feels like. I have been there many times. And I've also been on the other side of that now. And I know that I can help you get there through just listening to the videos, through just practicing this every day. It's just repetition. I had to listen to probably thousands of hours of videos over the years to fully let it sink in 100%. I mean, it took a while because I just had so much trauma and and it was repeated trauma. It wasn't like it just happened once and then it stopped. It went on through childhood. Then in my adult life, I had trauma. I've had, being a therapist, it can be traumatizing. That's a different type of trauma, I would say, but it can be a little, a little traumatizing because you hear a lot of bad stories. And it can trigger other things in you that you didn't know until it triggered you, and but you still have to keep doing your job, and so it can be difficult at times, but nonetheless fulfilling. And I love what I do. I love it. It's just awesome. I love it. But when you get to the place where you feel that internal peace, it's like nothing can come between you and your peace. You will protect that peace with all your might. You'll be like, nope, not letting that in. Nope, not letting that in. Whatever that is, it could be the thought. It could be, caring about somebody else's opinion over yours. Oh, no, don't do that. No, we can't do that anymore. That's the old self trying to peep in. Like, oh, can I come in? No, you can't. You're not welcome here anymore. You did me well in the past, old self, but yeah, you're not. I don't need you here anymore. Thank you. We honor you, but we don't need you now because that's not working anymore. And so you just have to remember to remember. It's like remembering what we forgot. You're remembering to remember what was covered up already. You're uncovering your true self. You're not really changing yourself necessarily. You're uncovering the self that was already there. You're uncovering the control you already had that you forgot that you had. You've just forgotten who you are. That's really all that this is. And so that was just conditioned. It was just programmed. And it was programmed by other people who didn't know who they were either, technically. And so there's all these facts that you have laid before you. You've got all these things that have happened to you. Those are facts. They've happened. And but they're just part of your story. They're not part of you. You've got to separate those two things. They are a dark place to go down. I understand. I've got plenty of that. But I had to learn, you got to separate the two. I am not what happened to me. It is something that happened to me. And I'm not that person anymore. And I am able to look at me and say, no, I am worthy and valuable, other than the other way that I used to think, because I thought that what happened to me was my fault, or, you just feel shame. I think shame is one of the biggest things that we carry when trauma happens to us. We just feel like I'm bad. Like it's not the behavior that happened to me was bad. It's more like I am bad. And that is shame. And I highly encourage all of you, if you've ever felt shame, if you're carrying that with you, to just consider dropping that off, saying, nope, I don't need this shame anymore. This is not serving me anymore. And that might be something to process with somebody or not. We can acknowledge it and we can transmute it into something better. And so we can look at shame as, thank you for showing me what I've been feeling. I feel like I'm bad. Well, that's not true, because what happened to you was not your fault. Even if you played a part in it, you were still a child. You possibly were manipulated. We feel like if we were a part of it, that it's our fault, and that's not true. So we carry and I go on and on about trauma, but I don't really want to do that. I want this to be more uplifting. And so we can transmute that energy anytime we want to, but I think it's important to acknowledge the feeling you're feeling, because a lot of the time, grief needs a witness, as they say. Grief deserves a witness. We've got grief, I think. I think we've all got some sort of chronic grief going on, where we had these like pictures of what we wanted our life to look like, and it really doesn't look like that right now. But knowing that we have the power to create now, consciously, we can change that story. That's the cool thing about this. We don't have to stay in the dark doldrums and, just be upset all the time. Like, we can create from this place. And I think there's something special about being sad sometimes. It's like good art is created from sadness sometimes. And to know true happiness, sometimes some people require to feel sad. I don't feel like everybody needs to do that, but I think I don't know, we're human and we have a range of feelings. And I think it's important to feel all of them and acknowledge them, but not stay there. They're just indicators. They're saying, hey, this feels good, or hey, this doesn't feel good. You really don't need to know more than that. Which way are you looking? Are you looking at bad or good? How are you feeling? I'm feeling bad or I'm feeling good. Okay, well, which do I prefer? What thoughts was I thinking that kind of led me here? And am I thinking those thoughts every day? And could I possibly stop thinking those thoughts? First, acknowledge them and feel the feeling. Feel your body. Where did you feel that feeling? Did you feel it in your stomach? Did you feel it in your heart? Acknowledge where you felt these feelings and get your body involved in it. Because a lot of times our body feels things before our brain kind of feels it, it feels like. It seems like. So pay attention to your body. It might be a familiar feeling that you felt 20 years ago that just needs to be kind of transmuted and turned into something else. But it's very important to acknowledge you because you might not have been acknowledged before. And that's the big piece of this. It's like, I just think it's so important because I've heard from multiple clients, friends, just people I've encountered over the years that they didn't feel seen and heard. They didn't feel like they could open up to people because they didn't feel safe enough to talk to them. I felt that so many times. I still feel like that today sometimes. I feel like I can't really say what I want to say because it might be judged or I'm not going to get the response that I'm needing in that moment. And so therefore, you have to teach people how to treat you. You have to start treating yourself and giving yourself what you're needing from others. And then it will show up in your reality. And so the human self, I feel, needs to kind of be separated from the spiritual self. And that can be really hard to do when we've got this very crazy 3D reality in front of us. It's like super in our face. And that's why it's very important to remember, hey, this is just an experience we're having. This is supposed to be fun. If this is supposed to be fun, what if it's supposed to be fun? And if it is supposed to be fun, how can I start making it fun? How can I start doing that? You're the only one that can do it. There's no one that's going to come and do it for you. And I heard somebody say that, like, nobody's coming to save you. And I was like, oh, damn, I got to save myself. So then you save yourself and you're like, I can do this. I can do this. I can think better. I can start hoping for more. And I can start getting excited for more. And I started thinking like that, like, what if I could start thinking a different way and create different results? I just started getting very simple with it. If I change my thoughts and I think them so many times, I'm going to start believing them, which is going to create different results. That's what they say. And that's exactly what happened. But again, like I've said in many videos, that internal peace is priceless. There are so many people that are walking around with what looks to be external confidence, external success, all these things that they look great, but on the inside, they've got a battle going on. It could be emptiness. It could be lack of fulfillment in their job or whatever, or in their life. It just could be, they could have everything that looks on the surface just like amazing, but on the inside, they're harboring some sort of feelings. So always remember that, don't judge a book by its cover, as they say. You can't judge anybody. We just can't do that because you never know what's true. You just don't know what's true. And whatever you believe is what is going to be true for you. So it's like, it's not always accurate about other people. So that's whenever compassion comes in. And I feel like we need to just love ourselves, which will help others. And we need to be the example of what love is to people. I think it's so important to do that. And to get to that place where you feel internal peace and safety within yourself, there is no more powerful place than that to manifest consciously. From there, it's like, man, you're just like this clean slate and you're just like full of love, full of excitement, and ready for more. And I know Esther Hicks, she talks about like being appreciative for where you are and excited for more. I literally feel like that every day now. And do I have the ups and downs? Of course, because I'm a human being. And I have, I'm over 40. We got some hormone issues going on. Let's be honest. We've got some issues going on. We got some gray hair. I got my hair done today. And she's like, you're 75% like silver up there. And I'm like, oh my God, oh no. Thank God for hair dye. But, you get excited for more. You're like, okay, sweet. I'm excited to see what aging looks like and feels like. And what does excitement look like in your 50s and 60s and 70s? What does that look like? Because I just get up being excited. And I had to train that monkey mind. I had to tame the monkey. You got to tame the inner gangster because that gangster is coming out. And he wants to just, have fun and bring you down with him. And that monkey is just all over the place. It has no boundaries. So you got to tame that monkey. And you might have to drug him. I don't know. Give him some Benadryl, something. Something's got to give. You can't have that same brain and have the same solutions pop up with that same mind that created the problems. You got to change that mind so you can kind of perceive new avenues and possibilities. But keep in mind, all possibilities are in existence. Anything, and keep that in mind again, reiterate, like if all possibilities exist, then what does that mean for you in your life? Like what is possible in your life that you are not acknowledging could be possible? If everything exists and could show up for you, choose. What would that be? Get outlandish. Get big with it. Think bigger than you've always thought. What if you could be happy every day? Oh my God. And nobody ever took your happiness away. No, but you didn't allow anybody to take your happiness or peace away. What if you could feel that every day? You can. You just have to train the monkey to calm down and let your brain tell your brain what to think. You got to tell your brain what to think, or it's going to think default what it thought yesterday every single time, I promise you. So with that, I will let you go. We will continue tomorrow on these same subjects, of course. I look forward to it. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share if you find this message helpful and you want to share it with somebody, please do. And yeah, I look forward to being here tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate you guys. I so appreciate the comments and the shares and the likes. I notice just about everything all the time, and I always respond to comments. I might be late in the game sometimes. I normally respond in the mornings, but thank you so much for all the wonderful comments and the support. I so appreciate you guys, and I hope that this is helping you. And I love doing these videos. It's so much fun. So much fun. So I will be back tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.